Good day, Guitarverse community. Welcome to another episode of, learning the bass. So today we'll talk about muting, right? We'll talk about muting the string. Now, what is the muting all about? Playing bass is, locking the groove and all that. So when doing that, you don't want any overlapping string. You get, how do I mean? You don't want vibrations. Muting now is talking about, dampening vibrations. When you hit a string in a bass, it causes other string or other strings to vibrate. So by doing so, it's not making the bass line or the groove to be locked in. It's making, if it's in fact it's more problematic when we are trying to mix the bass, compress the bass. It just sound all muddy. It makes your bass line sound all muddy. So it is important to understand the technique of muting the bass guitar. Now let's dive right into it. How do we fix this problem? Before you know how to fix the problem, we need to understand the problem itself. Now the problem is overlapping vibration. For instance, now I'm trying to run the C major scale, right? The C major scale. I'm trying to run the C major scale. I'm trying to run the C major scale, which goes like this. You are not hearing any vibration or any overlapping vibration because, of course, I'm applying the muting technique, right? I'm applying the muting technique. Now, without the muting technique, how does this thing sound? You can hear the vibration. Please use headphones if you are trying to listen, or if you are watching this video, because it's very important. It's very important. You may not hear it when you are just playing without earphone, but when you put on the headphone, it's just all bad. You hear? So that is where muting now comes in. Muting is dampening dampening the vibration. So it's important to dampen the vibration so it won't make a mess of the song or whatever you are playing on the bass. So now the question is, how do we solve this problem of muting the strings? How do we solve this problem of muting the strings? Now, the first thing is to use rest strokes. How do I mean? Remember, we are always alternating the two fingers, right? These two fingers. Remember, you're always alternating. Now, when you're alternating, the first finger is supposed to rest. It's supposed to rest on the string before. You get? It's supposed to rest to dampen any vibration it may cause. Imagine I'm not resting. You can hear some vibration that is not meant to be there. So muting is helping us to dampen the vibration. It's helping us to dampen vibration. Let me take it again. This is using rest stroke now. Let me run the C major scale. I'm resting on the string before. For instance, if I go to the next string, I will rest on the string before. That's alternating. So once you master alternating, you'll be able to rest. While resting is muting the strings to prevent string from vibration. That's one way you can mute the vibration. So it's always important to mute vibration. Another way is by using the thumb, right? I can see anytime I'm always playing, my thumb is always on the E string. My thumb is always on the E string, so it's helping me to mute any vibration that can come from this E string. Imagine I'm playing without my thumb, with my thumb loose. You can hear all the vibrations. But when I'm playing with my thumb, so some people can use their thumb like mute. For instance, You can use your thumb. You can rest the thumb on the string to mute the string. You can place it on the string. You can just lie it down, whichever way is convenient for you. So always make sure that your notes are not overlapping. You are not hearing vibrations, because whenever there is vibration from bass, it's not always nice. If there's a vibration, if there is a overlapping vibration from guitar or other string instrument, it may sound nice, but when it's on bass, it's not always nice. So please let us ensure to mute our string, either by using rest strokes alternating, or by using our thumb. You can see in this technique I'm using to play it, I'm using both rest stroke, and I'm also using my thumb. I'm resting my thumb on the deep E string, on the thick E string. So it's always important. If you are using a five string bass, your thumb should be on the thickest string, which is the B string. Very important. So there is no vibration or whatsoever. So another technique is flattening the fingers, the fretting finger. This is the fretting finger. So it's important for you to flatten it. You are not supposed to play raising your finger up. It may cause vibration. So when you are playing, that's why you see most bass players, their hands are always flat. They are not high. You are not playing a classical guitar. You are playing the bass, so your hands should be flat. Your hands should be flat on a guitar, on the bass rather. Sorry, your hands should be flat. So it's, you can't hear any noise whatsoever. You can't hear any noise because, of course, my hand is flat. It is, resting across all the strings. But I know the fingers I'm using to mute the, I'm using to play the notes I want to play. Playing the C major scale, it's the finger are 2 4 1 2 4 1 3 4 2 2 4 1 2 4 1 3 4. So we'll talk about scales in the next class, but let's just talk about muting the string, right? So that's one way you can use to mute the string. Flattening the fingers. So your fingers are not meant to be up, even though it seems right. It's not meant to be up. It's meant to be flat. It's meant to be flat. So another way of flattening, of eliminating vibrations, of muting the string, is by using fret wraps. There is a device called fret wrap, like something like a bandage that is being placed on the neck of the guitar. It helps to dampen the string. Players like Victor Wooten and some other great bassists use fret wrap to dampen noise or overlapping sound from the bass. Imagine you are just playing bass and all the strings are just vibrating. It's just going to sound all muddy. So it's important to dampen the string, to mute the string, right? Mute overlapping noise. So always mute. Make sure when you are playing your hands, you are muting. The exercise I gave on the last class, please, if you have not watched the video, you can refer. We can check out the last video I posted. For the exercise I gave, you should also mute the string if your notes are not let's say overlapping, or they are not there is a vibration in your note. Please, let's learn to mute the strings when we are playing, so it sounds better. Now there is a difference between muting the string and playing ghost note. We'll get there in our next class. So please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please kindly do so. It helps us to grow. And please like, comment, and share. Thank you very much. See you on the next one. Bye.